This lecture is going to discuss the eye, mainly human eyes, but we'll introduce different types of eyes. The structure of the human eye looks like this. We have the cornea, just in the front here, and then behind the cornea is aqueous humor, then the lens, which is held in place by different muscles. Around the lens, you'd see the iris, which is the colored part of the eye, and the pupil is the black opening that allows light into the eye. And behind the lens is the vitreous humor, more liquid. And at the very back of the eye is the retina, where we're going to find structures such as rods and cones. And those are going to transmit nervous signals to the optic nerve, which you can see comes back behind the eye, behind the retina here. Now, I mentioned different types of eyes. We have what's called an eye spot, which really isn't an eye on planaria or flatworms. They're just used more as a nervous sensory organ. The compound eye, which we'd find in insects. So you have lots of different lenses all put together, and that composes their eye. And then you have a single lens eye. Now, the retina is very important because that's really what's going to um, help interpret it's going to send the messages to be interpreted from the eye. And the structure of the retina looks kind of like this. You have two sensory structures called rods and cones, and rods are going to detect black and white images and cones color. Now, light is going to be focused at the back of the eye through the pupil, the opening, and then that signal is going to be transmitted to the nerves in the optic nerve to go to the brain. But we have a lot of different disorders with the eye, and depending on how light actually comes into the eye and has to do with the structure of the eye. Well, the first would be blindness. There is no vision. We can talk about someone that's nearsighted. And someone that's nearsighted, what happens is light is going to come into the eye through the pupil, okay, and the light is focused incorrectly. So what happens is it actually makes distant objects appear blurry. So you can see things, nearsightedness, you can see things that are close by. And what happens, you can see that the light here is coming into the pupil, but it doesn't actually reach the retina. All right, so that's why we can see things only close by. If we talk about someone that's farsighted, it's the opposite. You can see things that are um, very far away, because what happens is the light coming in is actually going to be focused behind the retina. It's going way past. So, because this image is being focused behind the retina, it it's caused actually by the eyeball sometimes being too small, or the focusing power of the eye is a little too weak. And there's some other little facts about it. It's normally present from birth, but children have very flexible eye lenses, so it helps make up for the problem. And then a lot of times the children will actually outgrow it. And then as aging occurs, you need some corrective glasses or contact lenses. Now, there's also another, oops, I'll go back. Um, we talk about astigmatism. It goes with nearsighted, farsightedness. And astigmatism has to do with the cornea, actually, which is the clear covering in front of the eye, is actually curved differently. It has an abnormal curve to it. So what happens is when the light comes in, it bounces around the eye. It's not focused directly through the lens to the retina like it should be. And it causes, your vision to be out of focus. Um, and sometimes people with astigmatism, they used to have trouble getting contact lenses because the curvature of their cornea was different, but now they make them to adjust. Someone that's colorblind can't see certain colors. So you can see the 29 in this image here, but some people may not if they have a red-green color blindness, and they may see just blank, which you see in the next one. Cataracts. Okay, someone that has cataracts will have vision that kind of looks like this second photograph here. So if you saw this photo normally, someone that has cataracts is going to see it like this. And a cataract is really a clouding of the normally clear lens of your eye. And if you have this cloudy lens, it kind of looks like you're looking through like frosty or fogged up windows. Um, and it makes it, much more difficult to read, to drive, and especially, at night because, it's hard to focus the light. And glaucoma. Someone that has glaucoma will see the photo like this. And you see that kind of cloud in the back here. And it's not just a disease. It's a group of different conditions in the eye that result in optic nerve damage and eventually could lead to a loss of vision. Abnormally high blood pressure inside the eye uh, usually causes the damage, but not always. And glaucoma is actually the second leading cause of blindness. And it takes the vision gradually. So sometimes if it's really at an early stage, you can do some things, but um, it's the most common type of glaucoma is an open angle glaucoma, and there's no noticeable signs or symptoms except that gradual vision loss. So let's talk about the eye a little bit more. So what do you see? A lot of times what happens, because of the way the colors are arranged and the shapes are arranged, we can see that this image, it appears that the spirals are actually moving because of the way the eyes are bringing the light in and the images are being adjusted and how our brain is interpreting them. Um, we can also look at a chart and see if you can say the color and not the word. So this is, just fun exercises to see how you're seeing something and how your brain's interpreting it. And it takes a lot of training in order to be able to do that. Oops. Okay, bunch of optical illusions. So we'll go back to the beginning. Now, with the eye and all these different diseases, a lot of these can be corrected by, contact lenses or glasses, depending on, how far advanced they are. So nearsightedness, farsightedness, you're going to be given a prescription that's actually going to help focus the light in the part of the eye that it needs to be focused on. So again, if we're looking at someone that's farsighted, the light is coming in, okay, pass through the cornea into the, through the pupil and through the lens to the retina. We want the light to focus right here on the retina. So what happens is those lenses that you wear are going to adjust that and make up the difference so that the light is only focused on the retina so you see clearly. Now, another note about the pupil, remember that the pupil is going to allow light into the eye. So in a dark area, you'll watch the pupils dilate or open. And if it's light, you don't want that much light coming into the eye, so they'll actually close. So if you watch somebody's eyes in the light or the dark, you can actually see the pupil open and close to adjust for the amount of light that's coming into the eye.